directly from the students of Airwaves Media. Bringing you news from Alma School District and our surrounding community. You're watching the Airedale.
Welcome to the Airedale. I'm Abigail Spencer.
And I'm Ben Mitchell. Today we'll be covering the Morgan Nick case update, child nutrition, food for friends, plus much more coming up on the Airedale. Recently, the Morgan Nick case received a case-changing update. How does this update change the outlook of a nearly 30-year investigation? Stetson Goodson is here to give us some more information.
As many Alma residents know, 29 years ago, a young girl named Morgan Nick went missing while attending an Alma Little League baseball game. She went missing after going to catch fireflies with her friends on October 1st. The Alma Police Department released more information that they said is a massive breakthrough. The breakthrough was that in 2020, Billy Jack Lynx's truck was taken as evidence, and after vacuuming the truck, they found several hairs in the canisters. In July of 2023, Alma Police Detective Sean Taylor submitted evidence to Orthrum Laboratory for analysis. On September 27, 2024, Orthrum Laboratory sent a report to Detective Taylor stating that the evidence he submitted for analysis was that of calling Nick, one of her siblings, or one of her children. After an interview with the Nick's family, they all stated none of them knew Lynx or were in his truck, indicating Morgan Nick was in there after her abduction. This information allows the police department to focus on one suspect and the circumstances around her disappearance. This has been Stetson Goodson with Airwaves Media.
Nutrition is an imperative part of life. Carver Rushing and Alayla Barlett look into the measures that the high school cafeteria workers take to ensure good nutrition.
In Alma High School, we have a nutritional value program. This program ensures the healthiness of the food we eat every day. This is Tammy Morgan with more on the topic.
I prepare anywhere from 20 side salads a day to 8 chef salads, 40 sandwiches, and then all the fruits and vegetables.
Tammy grew up in Alma, and since her employment, she has seen many changes in lunch and the nutrition plan.
I am from Alma, so I graduated in '94, and we did not have near the choices that you guys have, but a salad bar, a big old salad bar with like sunflower seeds and bacon bits, that would be the awesomest.
Tammy is able to see kids she used to teach grow up into young adults, ready to be the future of Alma.
I have been in child development for years. I worked at Stepping Stone School, and so some of the first kids that I had at Stepping Stone are now in sophomores. So I get to see these kids that I had so many years ago and enjoy seeing where they, how far they've come.
This is Carver and Alayla with Airwaves Media.
Hunger is a global problem and is no different here in Alma. Joe Rutherford and Jackson Belt take an in-depth look into what Alma High School students are doing to correct this problem locally.
Many people don't have food to eat around Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's why Food for Friends can help people around the town have meals to eat. Food for Friends is a food drive that supports people that don't have anything to eat on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Food for Friends is solely based on student donations and output towards the drive. Food for Friends is run by Mr. Kelly, and here's what he has to say about it.
Food for Friends is a club that I sponsor here at the high school. It started off as a community service project with a group of students I had several years ago. They've since graduated and moved on, and because of the success of their idea and what they implemented, we kind of continued on with that. We were able to stock outdoor food pantries around town, and since that time it's kind of grown. We've been able to give more and more.
In the future, Food for Friends can feed even more families across the town and even state, and Mr. Kelly has this to say about the future for Food for Friends.
Food for Friends is really student driven, and so I'm kind of a hands-off person when it comes to sort of where the club is going. We have a lot of students that have shown interest in expanding the club to get outside of just the food products. Maybe there's a way that we can provide basic health and hygiene products.
This is Joe Rutherford and Jackson Belt for Airwaves Media.
Respect is an important aspect for each and every person in life. Here's Kent Huggins to find out exactly what is respect and how you can show it.
Respect is something we all benefit from. I spoke to Mr. Kirkendall about the meaning of respect and how students can show it.
You know, when dealing with respect, it needs to be mutual, and it's about doing the right thing. We do not operate in turmoil. We operate on a very regimented, do-right schedule and attitude, and ethics and morals and the behavior in which we exhibit is very important to me.
Students are prone to showing behaviors they're used to, but we all still owe each other respect.
Well, obviously, when it comes to showing respect, we want our adults to model it first and be the ones who model it and show our students how they're supposed to act. You know, one of the things that students, it's not their fault, and you know, it works the same as for adults, is that sometimes they exhibit the behaviors that they're used to seeing outside of school. You want to surround yourself with people who are pleasant, who have high morals, high ethics, and are fun to be around. And even if you're having a bad day or there's something going on in your world, you have to learn to overcome that. That's part of being a successful person, is knowing how to conduct yourself. We all have bad days and bad moments, and we go through ups and downs in our lives. It's just like when you see someone who gets mad or they have an issue, whether it's driving, or you see somebody who's acting a fool in a store, or whether it's at school or work or whatever, you can't do that.
Respect is a huge contributing factor to a successful life. We can all benefit from showing each other a little bit of respect. This has been Kenton Huggins for Airwaves.
Last month was Suicide Prevention Month, and good mental health is something everyone needs to keep a check on to prevent further issues in life. Louis Alexander is here to give you some more information.
Suicide is an epidemic around the entire world, so bad that nearly 750,000 people die from suicide or taking their own lives yearly worldwide. Suicide is the second leading cause of death in the United States in young teens from ages 10 to 12. What are some things to help prevent suicide in Alma?
Well, there are a lot of different signs that you can look for with friends, but some of the signs that you typically see with somebody that might be struggling with maybe some depressive thoughts or maybe even some suicidal thoughts is maybe excessive worrying or fear of what other people think. Also, sometimes you see like mood changes. You a lot of times will see maybe friends withdraw from friends, kind of isolation type behaviors.
Is there anyone to talk to if you need to talk?
Well, a lot of times a teacher or a student will reach out on another student's behalf, or even a parent will call up here and ask that, you know, they notice that their kid is struggling or their friend is struggling or their student is struggling, and we will ask them very direct questions. You know, are you really thinking, are you wanting to hurt yourself? And then if they say yes, are you wanting to kill yourself? Those are two very different questions. Sources out there, there's the suicide prevention hotline. It's like 911, but it's actually 988. And it is an excellent resource where they have therapists on standby to answer and ask questions.
This is Louis Alexander with Airwaves Media.
You know, I've been wondering for a while, what's happening at the public library? Well, luckily for me, Ben Mitchell has the answer to that.
The Alma Public Library has a huge variety of activities for participants or people to, participate in. Teen Time on Tuesdays and a bundle of other ones. The whole opportunity is almost magical. Here's Miss Kara McCubbin to share with us an idea of the upcoming schedule.
So the programs that we have that are coming up, because we are super excited for October. Of course, it's spooky season, but it's also fall, so we've got pumpkins and all kinds of programs that we're going to be having.
October 1st is Homemade Cookies Day, and along with World Farm Animals Day, a Friend of the Library book sale on the first Saturday of every month, and story times at 10:30 3 times a week, the library schedule is packed this October.
What is really special about the month of October that I'm excited for, we're going to start our first ever Pokemon Club. So that's going to be on October 24th at 4 p.m. for anybody that's interested in coming down and learning more about the trading card game of Pokemon. Every Wednesday, Arts on Main comes down and does free art class for us. we just have a lot of special things that are going on.
Thanks to Miss McCubbin for her time, and thank you everyone for watching. This has been Ben Mitchell with Airwaves Media.
Students will notice a plethora of new additions to the high school's library shelves. Nate Lyon is here to give us an update.
There are more books in the library than there has ever been before, so you should come down to the library and read some of these new editions and have some fun. Here is Miss Fitchstem to talk about the genres of these new books.
There are a lot of new titles out that are pretty popular, but there's so much out there, it's hard to pin down to just one type. We did recently get the Dune series, the Three Body Problem series. There's a new series on Netflix about that. And then we've gotten some other titles that are follow-ups to series. This one in our sci-fi genre is called The Electric Kingdom by David Arnold, and it focuses on a dystopian future in which a fly flu sweeps the globe.
Some of the new books they added were the Dune series and books like Two Sides to Every Murder and Breakup Tour.
One place that you can find out what new books that we have is to sign up for our Google Classroom. Every day we'll feature a new book on our Google Classroom.
This has been Nathaniel Line with Airwaves Media.
Choir Regional Assessment is one of the choir's biggest events of the school year. Here's Raven Brantley and Hadley Miller to tell you more.
Every year, choir students come together from all over Arkansas to compete in All Region, a competition meant to test a student's individual singing abilities. Since its creation in 1967, choir students have looked forward to this competition to see what they ranked in their region out of 100. When the time comes, students bus over to Alma High School to compete for their spot in the top 100. Today we got the chance to talk to both of our choir directors about this competition.
All Region is a competition that is for a solo singer. It's very rigorous. Each of our kids get 3 songs, and that's for SATB, soprano, alto, tenor, bass. And then the men get a men's piece and the women's get a women's piece. We go every year to Alma High School. It's in Springdale. They host us, and as we're doing this, they have a lot of skills that they have to develop while they go through that. So it's a really good process for a solo singer.
I think my favorite part is when I get the results back and I get to look through and like highlight who made it, and just get so excited when I see students that did a really good job. That's probably my favorite part.
My favorite part in doing All Region is when we get to clinic. So that's when the kids who make it are able to go to this all-day rehearsal, is basically what it is, and when they get to be around kids that enjoy choir just as much as they do.
I think the most difficult part for All Region is kind of the monotony of it, and once we get to this point when we're so close, we've been doing the music so long that it's hard to kind of keep focused on, keep going and learning that music and not getting tired of it and trying to keep it alive.
For Airwaves Media, this is Raven Brantley and Hadley Miller.
Alert! Jamie McCubbin and Abram Allen have important information to drill into our heads about the fire drill protocols.
Fire drills are a great way for students to become familiar with where to go in case of a fire, allowing the students to get out safely and unharmed, perhaps saving many lives in the process. Although the school hasn't experienced fires itself, it's seen its share of close calls. But there is always one rule. If there's an alarm but no announcement, do not leave your classroom or exit the building.
As far as fire drills are concerned, we do it for a couple different reasons. It's not just to check a box to say we did it, okay? Yes, it's a requirement, a state requirement that once school is in session, that each month we have an active fire drill. As large as this campus is, it's not always feasible to completely evacuate the entire building. We may do it, sometimes we just may do part of a building. We may just do where we make an announcement and you're familiar with the sound and we go through the procedures if there was an actual fire. I think the key thing to remember is there will always, before any student is to leave the classroom or wherever they are and exit the building, always wait for an announcement. So if you just hear an alarm, and I always say that whenever we're doing a fire drill or we're doing an exercise, is they always wait for an announcement. You never want to exit upon hearing that drill. We do that for safety reasons so that people aren't leaving for the wrong reason.
We are very fortunate to not have any major fires in the past years. But if we did, these fire drills might just save our lives. This is Jamie and Abram for Airwaves Media.
The Tabletop Gaming Club doesn't get many members each year, but it's still a fun club to be a part of. Here's Carter Downs to give you the check, mate.
The Tabletop Gaming Club is a club where the students play, well, board games. It was made by Mr. Fromm, but how long has he been doing it?
So I started the Tabletop Gaming Club in 2017 at Cedarville High School, and then when I moved to Alma, I did it for the past 3 years. This will be the third year.
You may wonder what his reason for making the club was. Here is his answer.
Tabletop Gaming Club is just fun. All right? The whole idea is to get kids in here and experience new games, build some relationships. You know, if you're having fun, you're more likely to learn about students or learn about people, and that's really what I want my kids to do, is to learn about each other and have fun while doing it.
With it being a club about board games, you may be wondering what they might be and what the longest one they can play is. Here is Mr. Fromm to tell you more.
Games include things like Uno. I also had them play Suro. Headbands is a really popular one, even though it's something for kids. Kids really do love that. And chess gets a lot of play too. Well, really the longest game that kids have played was actually my Dungeons and Dragons group. They've met on Sundays here at the school, and for 4 hours they could play Dungeons and Dragons. And they didn't finish their campaign, but because they take a long time. But that's probably the longest one that they've played. Other games that we have, kids try to play Monopoly, and that never works out because it takes a long time. But really it'd be the Dungeons and Dragons and Monopoly.
This has been Carter Downs with Airwaves Media.
Got a creative mind and some time to write lines? Look no further than the newest chapter in AHS's list of clubs, the Writing Club. Jared Kenneda and Russell Boulay present their story on this novel club.
The new club joining Alma High School is a writing club sponsored by Mr. Duke, made by President Ben Mitchell. And here's an interview with the sponsor to tell what the writing club is all about. The writing club is hosted at Mr. Duke's room.
Work to kind of give feedback on what do you do well? How can we as a group support each other? Maybe we can take more practical forms like scholarship writing and help them actually set themselves up for presenting themselves well later in life.
The importance of writing is to be respected and understood.
Know what you mean when you write something, to respect you whenever they actually read it. A poor writer is going to come across as somebody who maybe you don't want to listen to.
This is Russell and Jared from Airwaves Media.
Our world is vast and diverse, and with that diversity comes many cultures. Alma High School takes pride in celebrating the movies, foods, and games of different cultures, and the culture in question for this story's club is French Club. Sarah Nutt has more on this subject.
Alma High School has many clubs, ranging from after-school activities to helping out the community. There's a lot to choose from. This story's focus will be on one club in particular, French Club. Ben Mitchell, the club's vice president, explains what the club's activities include.
We talk, we hang out, we play card games from like France. We have card games, we have food, we have community service hours. What isn't there to have?
Unfortunately, most of the club's higher-ups will soon be graduating.
A lot of the people who will take over the positions won't know what we've done. Like keep it going for us, like after we're gone. That's all I'd say.
Mitchell states that you should join French Club because he and the other club members are passionate about French culture and keeping the club alive. This has been Sarah Nutt with Airwaves Media.
One of the many clubs here at Alma High School is the Science Club. Here's Peyton C. Phillips to give us some experimental evidence on this subject's quality.
Science Club is a club that's been around for a while now, but what's the deal with it? We interviewed the Science Club president to see what's so cool and interesting about this club.
What does Science Club have to offer? So we offer a lot of community service. We offer a lot of fundraising, like really fun fundraising things. We do go on like fun field trips and stuff like that related to science, and just mainly our main points is the fun little fundraising, the community service obviously, and the science related field trips. The fees and dues for Science Club are $5, and when we come up with a t-shirt design and stuff like that, depending on how much that is, it may be like 15 to 20 something. I don't know. So, but it is $5 to join.
Science Club is such a fun club and a great way for freshmen and sophomores to get community service hours. It hosts great and amazing events for the club itself and gives a helping hand to the community. This has been Peyton C. Phillips for Airwaves Media.
Games have been around for hundreds of years, which evolved from board games into arcades and eventually became what we know now. Alma High School has a special appreciation for these modern video games with the Esports Club. Devin Reed is here to give you a one-up on the subject.
Esports is one of our most popular clubs here we have at Alma High School for our students. Now, let's take a closer peek and uncover some questions you all may have about esports.
Esports is an online gaming club. We compete against schools in the state of Arkansas as well as across the central region of the United States.
Esports has various games for you to choose from, but how do you play or practice for your games? Ms. Parker has more information on this question.
Our first game that we started with that was very popular was Rocket League, and that was what got esports started. And then we've added in Smash Bros. That one's really popular. And then the addition of Overwatch and Valorant, we've gotten more kids involved because of those games. So most of the teams get together outside of school and they practice at home, working together on who is going to do what role in certain games. Sometimes we practice during 3A, but most of the time they're communicating outside of school, like through Discord and making little scrimmages with each other.
This has been Devin Reed signing out from Airwaves Media.
Let's touch base on another story. Alma FFA has hosted a wiffle ball game that benefited those in need. We have Abigail Spencer to deliver on this home run hit of a tournament.
A wiffle ball tournament was held by Alma FFA Tuesday, September 24th. It was a smashing success amongst members.
It was a lot of fun. It is my last year, but I really do hope that FFA continues the wiffle ball game, because while it was kind of silly, it was a lot of fun. The officer team, we kind of just talked it out and made plans up as we went along.
The game was all in good fun as the organization's goal was to gather canned goods and donations to fill local blessing boxes.
Games like that throughout the year, but the biggest one we do is the FFA Olympics.
More games are sure to be hosted by FFA. The students and teachers enjoyed laughing and friendly rivalry. This has been Abigail Spencer for Airwaves Media.
Where's the beef? That's a question for the ages. Yet you could win a big chunk of beef. Here's Isaiah Burris and Zach Gwynn to tell you how.
The baseball season hasn't started just yet, but the Alma baseball team is holding a beef raffle as a fundraiser to help raise money to meet the needs for the players and coaches during the baseball season.
The beef raffle is one of our biggest fundraisers that we have, one of our only fundraisers. Taylor Ranch doing the processing, King Ranch provide the steer, and so first place will win 250 pounds of beef, cut up however you want it. Second and third win 125 pounds each. And so it's a really great fundraiser. You know, it helps with our travel expenses, helps with equipment in our indoor facility. And I think the drawing, we're going to do that November 1st at halftime between the football game.
Purchase yourself a raffle ticket and you might be the lucky winner of a big old piece of beef. This is Zachary and Isaiah with Airwaves Media.
The basketball team is burning some serious rubber right now, getting prepared for the upcoming season. So here's Peyton Griffith to pass us the ball on this topic.
Alma schools are known for their competitive sports. The boys basketball team went to the playoffs last year and they would like to go again this year. Let's see what Coach Lincoln has to say.
I feel really good about it. We had a lot of success last year, won 21 games, won a conference championship, got to the quarterfinals of the state tournament, but you know, hopefully we can build on that and go even further, make a deeper run this year. So I feel really, really good. Got a lot of kids back. Got a great team. We just got to keep getting better and keep sticking to our process, and I think we'll have a great year. I mean, we got such a tough schedule. I think everybody's really good. Our conference is really good. Harrison's really good. Farmington's going to be really good. We're in a Brooklyn tournament. We'll play some West Memphis and Marion. Those guys are really good. So, I mean, to be honest, man, we play a really tough schedule. Everybody's really good, but I try to focus on ourselves, and it's about Alma basketball, and I just kind of keep the main thing the main thing. We play Sylvan Hills, our first game, November 15th. We play them here, really good opponent. We try to play them every year to start the season. Very good 5A program team that really challenges us, so hopefully we can get a home win to start the season.
The conference basketball season begins January 7th, and it should be an interesting one to cheer on. This is Peyton Griffith from Airwaves Media.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Airedale. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow all of our social media at Airwaves Media. And as always,
Go Airedales!